Robert Hansen is a notorious double agent, and the FBI knows it. But knowing is one thing. Nailing him for it is another. They've got to find a way to get him to talk. Enter Hansen's former assistant, Eric O'Neill.
Tell me the story of your involvement catching one of the worst spies in American history.
Well, Robert Hansen, I think it's fair to say he was the worst spy in American history. Spied for over 22 years.
Yeah, since '79.
Not only for the Soviet Union, but he graduated into spying for Russia and didn't get caught during that transition, which shows how good of a spy he was. And during that time, he gave up some of the most egregious information a spy has given up in history. We're talking not only nuclear secrets, but also contingency of government plans.
Sure.
So that way, when the nukes are flying, they know not only where to hit our nuclear arsenal, but where to hit the president and the Congress and everybody else in the head of state when they go and try to hide out from the nuke.
Now, the investigation that caught him, that finally caught him, was long-running. It was a big investigation. And you came in towards the end, but you played a really crucial part in that.
Exactly. By the time I came in, they had enough based on information they got from a source who gave up a suitcase of information that pointed very directly to Robert Hansen. But they didn't have enough to convict Hansen of espionage. So when I say it was more important to catch him and to get him to talk than just to punish him, the reason for that is we needed to know what he'd done so we could fix the holes that he'd blown in our ability to protect ourselves. So what I did is engage him in conversation just like this. And I asked him questions, and when he would brag, I would push him. And it wasn't until I started pushing him to really prove what he was saying was true that he started showing off. And criminals make mistakes. And some of these investigations are just playing the role until they make that mistake. And then when they make that mistake, you pounce.
And how did you go about doing that?
Well, it was difficult at first. It turns out Hansen is not a big talker, which is a pretty good idea when you're a spy. I mean, the more you talk, the more you might let something slip.
Sure.
So what I had to do is build a relationship. And I had to build a relationship of trust. And from there, I just made it a mentor-mentee relationship. And I got the sense that this spy, this criminal, really wanted to tell someone his genius.
Sure.
And I
mean, how much time did you have? Because you were working for him. This operation lasted about 6 weeks, your phase of it.
Right. It was less than 3 months.
How much time did you spend with him on a personal level on that?
We spent every day together in that office for over 8 hours. And he didn't do a lot of FBI work. He did a lot of talking. At the beginning, he kind of sat in his office, but I think the theory is that if you put two guys in a room and make them sit there for 8 hours, even if they hate each other, they're going to be so bored at some point they're going to get around to talking. And we did a lot of talking.